Just a few quick personal updates before I start talking about the topic of today's video. I forgot my camera at home and all my infinite grapefruitedness, so I'm vlogging on my phone today. I hope the quality is not terribly different, but yeah, that's a thing. Secondly, I am doing much better with the SADS right now. It is pretty cold. It's not bitterly cold like it's been the last few days, but I'm over my cold, so I've been running again, which has really helped, and I've been taking my vitamins. So overall, I think this year, so far, I still have a few months of winter left, but so far I'm doing much better managing my seasonal depression, so that's awesome. Last update is that I was going to do my questions video because I got a bunch of questions from everyone, and I was going to do that today. My plan was to do it for the first Thursday video of the week, which is today, but I shot it last night and I have a special guest, but it's going to take me a little bit longer to edit. So expect to see that video next Thursday. However, what I am going to talk about today is, as some of you, maybe many of you, I don't know, are aware, I'm not happy in the employment that I currently have. This is not the first time this has ever happened in my life, but it is definitely the longest it's gone on. As you also know, I have been me for quite a few years now, but despite my being me for several years, I have a really good talent for being what people expect, perceive, or anticipate me to be instead of being me. So for several of the years that I have been myself, I have done a really good job of being what other people want me to be. I haven't had much time to, I guess, figure out who I am. And I've never really been able to figure out what it is that I want to do for a living. I'm a pretty good resource for, okay, so you know that you hate your job, but you're in a position where you can't just quit. What do? I'm going to share a few do's and don'ts of how to maintain your employment without completely losing yourself, because I will tell you, hating your job is exhausting. Do be very careful who you share your true self with, especially if you're in an office environment, about the fact that you're no longer happy there, because word gets around really fast. Don't be petty. You're gonna want to be petty. Don't give in to that feeling. It never ends well. Do go out for walks. Get outside of the office if you're in an office, even if that means going to apply for other jobs. Get outside. Give yourself that break of sitting in the office that you hate every day. Your sanity is also important. Keeping your job is important, but so is also your sanity. Do, if you feel that you are in such a position that you can do this, try to talk to your manager. Maybe you're not so unhappy in the work, but just in the work that you're currently doing. If possible, maybe they can at least give you other projects until you find the employment you really want. However, if you are the victim of managerial abuse, please do go to HR. Regardless of how much you think they may or may not do anything about it, report it to somebody, because I've been there myself and it is not an okay thing. Do not burn your bridges. Don't just quit, even on the days when you just want to curse the entire building, possibly burn it down, or whatever feelings that you might feel of just pure, I'm so done with this. Do not give into that impulse. Not because of what some people might say that eventually you might need that job again, because there's a good chance that's not the case. But because future employers are going to look at that. And it's just like when you're dating. If you date someone that cheated on their last boyfriend, chances are they're going to cheat on you. Don't do it for your current employer. Do it for your future employer. Do the skills that you may not be using, but you want to use. Keep them sharp, because when you do get that other job, and all the tool sets that you wanted to use have not been used and have gone rusty, that's just not a position that you want to find yourself in. Try to focus on what it is that you want and keep that tool set sharp. Do try to laugh. When we don't laugh, we cry. I've spent plenty of days crying. And the days that I laugh about the absurdity of it all, those I'm gonna hold on to. Try to laugh about how ridiculous the position that you find yourself in is. And lastly, don't give up hope. They tell me it gets better, and someday I believe that it will. No matter how long it's been, or how hard you've been trying, don't give up. Because someday somebody's really gonna appreciate what you're capable of. And it's gonna make you feel much better. And someday you're gonna look back at all this and think about how strong you are. This is my advice to myself. And it's hard. It's real hard. But I am strong. And I do believe that one day it's gonna get better. My advice is not meant to cure, treat, or prevent any possible illness or poor employment choices. I do hope that it helps somebody. Even just a little bit. I guess we'll see what happens next week. Bye. Oh, and one last thing, and this is really depending on your situation. Try as hard as you can to remain committed to the job that you're in, because your employer, future and current, is really going to appreciate that. And they're going to look at you and they're going to say that that's a really mature thing to do. And it's going to be hard some days. Try to remain committed until your very last day. Don't let anyone disrespect you, but be respectful of others. That one's going to be really hard, but it's also very important. Stand up for yourself. Try to be as respectful about it as you possibly can. Oh, and Maya, I'm wearing the channel pants today. Thought you'd appreciate that.